Earlier this week, Nintendo surprised us unsuspecting Pokemon fans with trailers for the upcoming DLCs, The Hidden Treasures of Area Zero. These trailers had plenty of things to talk about, like this cool terrarium, old men with immaculate drip. Peep the Honedge themed scarf on this man, and possibly an entirely new region that is oddly reminiscent of the Sinjo ruins from other games. However, I think one of the most important takeaways from this trailer is the returning Pokemon. Many fan favorites are making their way back into Generation 9, and keeping with the base game theme, there seems to be a heavy focus on Pokemon from the Johto region. In Scarlet and Violet, several Johto Pokemon received love from GameFreak, with Girafarig receiving a cross-gen evolution and Wooper receiving a new regional variant. It seems that they are continuing that love in the DLC by bringing back lots of Johto Mons, like the Noctowl line, the Furret line, the Yanma line, the Gligar line, and the Aipom line. These returning Pokemon could very well mean that we may be seeing some new evolutions or forms for these amazing Pokemon. Throughout the generations, the Johto Pokédex is often chosen for cross-gen evolutions due to the high concentration of one or two stage lines. We saw Game Freak really dive into cross-gen evolutions for Johto Pokemon in the Sinnoh region by giving Pokemon like Togetic, Piloswine, Sneasel, and Yanma some evolutions. However, several of these lines that did not receive new evolutions are Pokemon that many fans have speculated would get an evolution for several generations now. A prime example of this is a Pokemon that is returning in the Teal Mask, Noctowl. Fans have been wishing for Noctowl to receive a new evolution for years now, which was made very evident in Galar, as fans were quick to jump on this image in the trailer before Sword and Shield's release and speculate that a new addition to the Hoot Hoot line was on its way. Sadly, the Hoot Hoot line did not receive any new love in Generation 8, and we are still left waiting for a new evolution or form for our owl companions. However, with more Johto Pokemon returning in the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc, perhaps we will get some new regional forms or cross-gen evolutions for our Gen 2 partners that have been patiently waiting to return to the spotlight for over 2 decades. As great as it would be to see new regional forms and cross-gen evolutions of older generation Pokemon, I think that the Pokemon Company was hinting at something else in the promotions this week. Shortly after the trailer for the DLC was released, the Pokemon Company pointed out 2 Pokemon in particular on their Twitter, stating that Gligar would be a version exclusive for Pokemon Scarlet and Aipom would be a version exclusive for Pokemon Violet. This made me curious as to why these 2 Pokemon were selected to be the version exclusives, but then I remembered something interesting about the version exclusives in the Scarlet and Violet base games. For those of you that don't know, there is a small correlation between version exclusives and some of the Paradox Pokemon featured in Scarlet and Violet. Certain exclusives are only available in the game where a Paradox form of them is not available. For example, the Salamence line is available as a version exclusive to Violet, but its Paradox form is available in Scarlet. And Hydreigon's line is available in Scarlet, but has a future Paradox form in Pokemon Violet. This applies to other Pokemon like the Mischievous line as well. This got me thinking that if they follow a similar pattern in the DLC, there is a good chance that we get new Paradox forms in the form of Aipom and Gligar lines. So let's dive into that and take a look at the Aipom line. Since this line is a version exclusive to Violet, that would mean that the Paradox Aipom would be available in Scarlet and would be an ancient Paradox form. My good friend Professor Kauri assisted me by drawing my take on what a Paradox Aipom may look like. In our version, this Paradox form is a dark normal type, and instead of a hand for a tail, this Pokemon has a second face that it can wear as a mask when using a signature move, making it pure dark type. The false mask aesthetic not only fits the mischievous theme, but also matches well with the Teal Mask DLC aesthetic. Aipom was chosen to be the Paradox representative for this line because everybody likes to hate on the double balloon-handed monkey, and I wanted to maintain that cute element that most of the ancient Paradox Pokemon lack, besides Screamtail. Speaking of Screamtail, this ancient monkey needs a name. Let's call this Pokemon the Savage Mask. Now let's move over to Gligar. Since this is a version exclusive to Scarlet, this would give this line a future Paradox form found in Pokemon Violet. Professor Kauri and I came up with this Paradox form of Gliscor. This Pokemon is fire-flying and takes on a flamethrower aesthetic, complete with flames spouting from its adjusted claws and solar-powered wings to keep the fire aflame. This form of Gliscor is meant to be the embodiment of desolation in the future. In a hostile future environment, this Pokemon continually brings the world to ash, creating an environment that only the robotic, futuristic Pokemon can survive in. This Paradox is fittingly titled Iron Rays. In my opinion, it seems very likely that we will be receiving Paradox forms of these version exclusives, hence why the Pokemon Company made it a point to make these 2 specific Mons version exclusive, and why they made sure everyone knew about their exclusivity very early on. I would not be surprised to see these Paradox forms revealed in upcoming trailers to help generate hype for the upcoming DLC. However, if we don't see Paradox Mons for these two Pokemon, we may see new regional or cross-gen forms for other Johto Pokemon in these DLC packs. Or maybe even some Hoenn Mons will get the treatment and we will see the true Corphish hinted at in almost every Corphish Dex entry.
Show us the Kitakami Corphish.
But what Johto Pokemon would you want to see receive a regional, Paradox, or cross-gen evolution in the Hidden Treasures of Area Zero DLC? Perhaps the coveted Noctowl Evo? A regional Magcargo? Perhaps a Skarmory evolution? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out Kauri's links in the description below, and I will catch you next time when the adventure continues.